I want to introduce you to the concept of the eternal now. In a previous video, Irvine's summary, I made the point that people often confuse the things that they can control with the things that they cannot. This is a point that comes up time and again in Stoic philosophy. I'd like to talk a little more about one aspect of it, beginning with Epictetus's famous Enchiridion, which opens with this very concept that there are some things within our control, some things without our control, and some things which we can merely influence. In therapy sessions, I often talk to people about the spheres of influence, which are just that. The inner sphere, the thing we can control, the next sphere out, the things that we can influence, outside again of that, the things that we cannot control but which merely interest us, and then beyond that, the things which we have no interest in at all. The only spheres that are worth talking about are the things that are within our control and the things that we can influence by exercising control of the things we can control. There's an illustration of this I sometimes use when I'm teaching students, which is, let's say that I have a gun in my hand and I point it at you and I demand that you give me all your money. Now that's a fairly strong influencer, and it may well be that I will succeed and you will give me all your money, but it's only an influence, it's not control. You might choose to die. And in fact, people have. At times in the past, for various reasons, people have chosen to die rather than give in to the demands of the bully with the gun. So even in those extreme situations, we only have influence over others, we don't have control. The same is true of the past. And that's something that I want to talk about today. I want to introduce you to the concept of the eternal now. And this is an issue that's actually quite significant for me at the moment. If you have been following another thread, you will know that currently I have some health concerns which are as yet undetermined. It could mean the end of my career. It could even mean more than that. It could mean a chronic illness. It could mean all sorts of things. It could ultimately mean death, although I suspect it won't, but it's possible that it could. So to me, I'm facing uncertainty in the future. Therefore, this idea of the eternal now isn't just a theory, it's something that I'm currently practicing as a way of maintaining some sense of emotional stability. That doesn't mean that this is an easy time for me, it's not, but it does mean that I'm able to continue to function by accepting the principle of the eternal now, which is this: life is a succession of moments, of instants. Now. Each of those moments combines with other moments to create seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, and so on, until eventually there is a whole life. But each of those moments can be taken and judged on its own merits. Now, think about this moment. Not the moments before, and not the moments to come. In this moment, if you're anything like me, you'll be comfortable, you'll be free of pain, or at least free of any significant degree of pain. You'll be fed, you'll be watered, no one will be hurting you, you won't need to run anywhere, you'll be fairly relaxed. For this moment at least, everything is fine. And that's the case for most of the moments in most everybody's life. There are difficulties to come. I know from my own current situation, I have some very difficult moments ahead. I know that for a number of reasons, partly health related, partly related to my professional standing, partly related to how we're going to make ends meet once the worst happens, if it does, and it might. So there are some difficult moments ahead, but this moment is fine. This moment is okay. The idea of the eternal now is that if you are always in this moment, you can, of course, plan for the things to come, and I would be a fool not to. But I don't have to allow my awareness that there are likely to be difficult moments ahead ruin my acceptance and enjoyment of this moment. Because this moment, as it is really rather splendid. Here I am, it's a summer evening, I'm sat in one of my favourite spots in a countryside walk. I can hear the birds around me. I'm not sure if you can hear those on the video or not. It's cool, there's a very light breeze. It's just wonderful. This is a perfectly good moment, and I refuse to ruin it with my awareness that tomorrow morning I go to see my GP and I may end up getting some particularly bad news. But that's for tomorrow. If you're a Christian, you'll know that Jesus said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, so please forgive me, but Jesus said something like, do not worry about the morrow, let tomorrow take care of itself, for today has enough worries of its own. That doesn't mean do not plan, but it does mean do not allow anticipated future moments to destroy perfectly good moments in the eternal now. It also means don't allow past moments that are gone to destroy a perfectly good now. I hope that makes sense. It's one of the mainstays of Stoicism. It's about separating the good from the bad, and also understanding that in most lives, even the lives of the most effective, the most capable, the most successful people, in the majority of moments, nothing particular happens. Most moments are neutral. Most moments are quite dull. And if we allow them to be, most moments are emotionally reasonable.